Hello and welcome to another video on Sparking Life. If you have an intense desire and keen determination to increase your ability to deal with people, and do you find it difficult to have friends or you barely have any, don't worry, you have come to the right place. We will guide you on a step-by-step process that how you can actually make more friends and lasting impressions as a leader. If you guys follow the tips and suggestions we give you in this video, you will surely get out of a mental rut, think new thoughts, acquire new visions of life, discover new ambitions, make friends quick and easy. So let's begin. First up in this video, we will cover up the fundamental techniques of handling people and subsequent topics in coming up videos. So, number one, if you want water out of a well, make sure you don't jump into it without a rope. Well, what actually it means is that if you want something out of someone, you don't do that by harming or criticizing that individual. There are many ruthless criminals and homicides that happen to claim themselves innocent despite of attempting various criminal activities and breaking laws over and over. The two gunmen, Crowley of New York, after his arrest said, I have spent the best years of my life giving people lighter pleasures, helping them have a good time. And all I get is abuse, the existence of hunted man. Yes, these are the words of America's most public enemy. He actually regarded himself as a public benefactor. Most prisoners in the New York Sing Sing prison claim themselves as good men. They are just as human as you and me, so they rationalize and try to explain themselves. They can tell you why they had to crack a safe or be quick on the trigger finger. Most of them attempt by a form of reasoning, fallacious or logical, to justify their antisocial acts even to themselves, consequently maintaining that they should never have been imprisoned in the first place. So the point here is that when these desperate men and women behind prison walls don't blame themselves for anything, when these people held up behind the bars don't find themselves wanting to be criticized or condemned for anything, then what about the common people with whom you and I come in contact with in our day to day life, during business meets, contracts, or with other clients? This fact is very much true that 99 times out of 100 people don't criticize themselves for anything, no matter how wrong it may be. We must realize one thing, that criticism is futile. That is because it puts a person on the defensive mode and usually makes him strive to justify himself. Criticism is dangerous because it wounds a person's precious pride, hurts his sense of importance, and arouses resentment. So, if you guys find yourself criticizing people, there is one thing sure you must keep in mind is that you are actually putting yourself in a vulnerable situation where people might not like you. It has been significantly proven that when an animal is rewarded for a good behavior, it will learn much more rapidly and retain what it learns far more effectively than an animal being punished for bad behavior. Later studies have also shown that the same applies to humans. By criticizing, we do not make lasting changes. In fact, it offers incurs resentment. Remarked by a famous psychologist, as much as we thirst for approval, we dread condemnation. You will find examples of the futility of criticism bristling over 1,000 pages of history. So, all in a nutshell is that we must realize that criticism are like homing pigeons. They always return home. Let's realize that the person we are going to correct and condemn will probably justify himself or herself and condemn us in return. When dealing with people, let us remember we are not dealing with creatures of logic, we are dealing with creatures of emotion. Number two, the easiest way to make out most out of a person, which most people fail to discover. The most easiest way to get things done by someone is just simply to make them want to do it. Well, yes, that's just the one way under high heaven to get anybody to do anything. Remember, there is no other way. The one way you may make them want to do is to give them honest and sincere appreciation or importance. John Dewey, one of America's most profound philosophers, said, "The deepest urge in human nature is the desire to be important." Yes, it is actually very significant. Lincoln once quoted, "Everybody likes a compliment." William James said, "The deepest principle in the human nature is the craving to be appreciated." The desire for a feeling of importance is one of the chief distinguishing differences between mankind and animals. In fact, most CEOs of companies were actually paid huge salaries for their ability to deal with people. Not criticizing and amply of praises also largely helps to build in new relationships and strengthen the bonds of an older relationship. Number 3. Learn to be genuinely interested in other people. Have you ever wondered one thing in your life, that a dog is the only animal that doesn't have to work to make ends meet? A hen has to lay eggs, a cow has to give milk, but a dog makes his living by only giving you nothing but only care and affection. There is a divine instinct that you can make more friends in 2 months by becoming genuinely interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. The point here is that people are not interested in you, they are not interested in me, they are interested in themselves. Morning, noon, and after dinner. The word that found to be the most commonly used in a telephonic conversation was I. It was used over 3,900 times in 500 telephonic conversations. Once a famous author remarked, "I'm telling you the same things your preacher would tell you. But remember, you have to be interested in people if you want to be a successful writer of stories." Now, if that is true of writing fictions, you can be sure it is true of dealing with people face to face. With this, we are pretty sure that the tips and suggestions offered in this video are gonna really help you to make a complete new image of yours in society. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and enable the notifications so that you may be notified when we put out another video.